then with her handlers. So these later on will be doing their live testing this afternoon. We've got two handlers coming in to do their test.
And on this side, led by team leader Lisa Bassett, we've got Tammy with Baby, the standard poodle, and we've got Rory with Darcy, the collie.
Okay, so on this side, what we're going to be looking at, one of the exercises which they're going to be tested on this afternoon is the grooming exercise. Now, we need to make sure that the dog will be groomed, that it won't be make too much avoidance. So, in other words, what we're saying is that the dog should be quite calm when it's groomed. If it turns around and starts biting the hands or the brush, then obviously it will be deemed not ready. We also need to make sure we go over the whole of the dog, and that includes the tail and down the legs, under the tummy, into the chest, around the ears. And obviously, depending on the sort of fur the dog has, the type of coat it has, it will be dependent on how much the judge might want to see. Now, once they've done this exercise, they will need to make sure they pick up the fur after them, because the judge will also be making sure they are responsible dog owners and be able to pick up the fur and put it into a bag. As you can see, it doesn't matter what position the dogs are in, as long as they are okay about being groomed.
Well, over here we're looking at the walk on lead exercise. That might sound a little bit silly, teaching the dogs to walk on lead. But at the Good Citizen Dog Scheme, at the bronze level, what we're looking for is a dog that's a pleasure to take out into the community. We don't want the dog pulling on our arms, pulling them out of the sockets, or pulling towards something else or another dog. We just want something that's pleasurable to walk with. So we look for walking on the lead. And here we see two examples of teaching the dogs how to walk on the lead. This is going to be, these people are practicing at the moment for a live testing session this afternoon. So everybody that you see in the arena will be tested this afternoon to the bronze standard of the Good Citizen Dog Scheme.
Does that include you, Mark?
It might, actually.
Okay, and on this side what we'll be looking at is the return to handler exercise. Now when we're training, we're going to do this on the lead to make sure we tell the dog or show the dog exactly what's required of him. And then once the dog starts understanding about coming into the dog, then we'll move on a little bit further with maybe someone just restraining the dog, still on the lead, and then calling the dog in. And at this level, what we're looking for is the dog literally just to come to the front of the handler. We're not looking for this present position, we're just literally looking for the dog to come in. So when they get to this stage, we then need to take it a stage further, that we know the dog is very confident, it's coming back. So what they're actually looking for today is, when they're doing their testing session, that the dog will be called at 10 paces away. Now they don't have to sit and wait, because they will be restrained by an assistant, and they will put another lead through the collar, take their lead off, go 10 paces away, which has been obviously paced out by the examiner, so they know exactly what the 10 paces are. And as you can see, we should be given to the hand that he put through the collar, the examiner won't. But this is a training session, so again, treats can be used, but not when they're doing their test. So we ask to call the dog comes back to the handler, close enough for the handler to put the hand in the collar and put the lead back on again. And that's all we're looking for, the dog to come close enough to the handler so they can put the lead back onto the collar.
Now over here we've just seen the cleanliness exercise. These are asked both to produce their boot scoop bags. You might have thought they were showing off, waving them in the air. But as Good Citizen dog owners, we should always carry boot scoop bags with us and use them at the appropriate times. Always disposing of the feces in a safe manner. And that's exactly what we've done here, tested that they've got their bags, and they'll be retested on that this afternoon. And we've moved on to the teaching the stay exercise. At the bronze level of the scheme, the owners are required to leave their dogs in a stay, and that can be any position, either stand, sit or down, for 1 minute, with the handler being up to 10 paces away. The dog's not allowed to shift its position between there. So at the moment, what we're just looking at is teaching the stay. We started with it staying on lead, as we can see with the poodle there. With our collie down here, we've just progressed to stepping away from it. And the duration that we step away is going to be increased over the next few minutes. So over here, we're looking at the various stages of teaching the stay.
Okay, on this side, we're going to look at the responsibility and care. Now, responsibility care will be coming off the responsibility and care sheet, which you will find at the front if you want to see what's actually involved on section 1. And they'll be asked, well, up to 6 questions if they're struggling to get 3. But if they answer 3, that would be more than enough. And we're just going to ask them just a couple of questions, get them primed up ready for this afternoon. So the sort of questions they might be asked would be very basic, responsible handler questions. So I'm going to ask this lady here, can you give me one example, and only one example, of a dog's needs? I think that's 2, but hey, you don't get no more for that. It was one. I was only wanting one answer. So again, another type of question that may be asked would be, could you give me an example, please, of being a responsible dog owner?
Picking up his poo.
Picking up after the dog. So it's very, very important exercise, isn't it, to make sure, and being a responsible dog owner, to make sure you go out and pick up after your dogs.
Okay, we're still on this teaching the stay exercise here, and you may see us in a minute progressing to a little bit of playtime. Playtime very important when training our dogs. Creates that bond between handler and dog, but also allows them to let us sleep and do whatever they want for a few minutes. So sometimes it's playing with a toy, sometimes it might be hand motivation, running around, but here we see just a little bit of play in between the exercises. And as Dave quite rightly pointed out a few minutes ago, we've seen treats being used over here during the training exercise, but in the test this afternoon, no treats will be allowed.
Okay, so we're going to have a look at the gate exercise, the gate or door exercise, and we've got the facility of using the gate. Now what we're looking for is a dog to be under control. So, what we're looking for, a dog to, well in this case it's sitting, but it can sit, it can stand, it doesn't matter as long as it's under control. The handler goes through, the dog is then called under control. Again, the other side, enabling the handler to be able to close the gate. Now we'll just see this demonstrated just once again. They've chosen to put their dog into the sit. That's fine, that's not a problem with that at all. And ask the dog to come through. You can see that's nicely under control. The gate's going to be shut, and again, they can break off and praise the dog. And that's all that's required for this exercise.
And we notice over here, both Tammy and Rory still working on their stay exercise, and they're increasing the period that they're leaving the dogs on their own. I think we're moving on here to walking amongst people and dogs. So I'm going to be stood here. What we're looking for here is that the dogs aren't distracted by the other dogs they're walking past or other people. Sometimes it's people, sometimes it's dogs, or sometimes it might be objects, bicycles, people with umbrellas, people bouncing balls, things like that. And again, what we're looking for, the dog to be nicely under control, not pulling towards a distraction, following the handler's lead as they continue. And it looks like they're using me at the moment as their distraction. I know I'm very distracting, but doing very well so far.
Okay, and on this side, one of the other exercises we're looking at. Just wait for this. Okay, and what I was saying is that we're looking for the examination of the dog. Now what we're looking for in the bronze is that the handler will be looking at the dog, and we're looking for all points to be looked at. And the sort of exercise we're looking for is
judging all commands in 10 minutes time in hall 2, ring number 13.
Okay, so what we're looking for in this situation, the dog's being gone over by the handler. We want to make sure that the dog will allow the handler to go over the dog. So he's gone over the length of the body to make sure there's any lumps and bumps. That's what he might be even asked for. Why are you doing this exercise? And we need to make sure that the dog will allow the handler to do it. And we're just going down to the Aussie while they're just doing a bit of exercise like that. We're going to look at the eyes and teeth thing. Can we look at the eyes and teeth? So all we're looking for is looking at literally at the eyes, make sure it's nice and clear. We can have a look at the teeth, and then we must be able to open the dog's mouth. Okay, that's fine. Now when they open it, what we don't want to do is try and turn the dog inside out by bringing the jaws right far apart. Just a little bit so you can see, so if you needed to get in there, you can. And again, looking at all 4 paws, we're just looking at the front ones here. And we also need to make sure, look at the way the dog's legs move. They don't go out to the side, do they, the front legs? Oh, perfect here. We've got the dog, you can do all 4 while it's laying down. And that's fine, there's not a problem at all, and also gives them the opportunity to look at the dog's tummy.
Right, Dave, well, I think that comes towards the end of our training session. Folks, the next time we see these people in the arena, they're going to be under test conditions and taking their tests. So I'm sure you'd like to join me in wishing them all the best and good luck for their session this afternoon. Dave?
Okay, so yes, let's wish them all luck. We have Jane over here as their team leader, and we have Nicola and Harley, and Richard and Duppy.
And on this side,